Changi Prison. So, Grandpa, tell us about Changi Prison.
Why didn't they just shut it down? Shut it down.
Tell us about the clock tower.
Just shut it down, you know?
Elisa, to have Grandpa tell you about it, Elisa. Elisa.
Not now.
I want to go. Each block is 3 stories of building, and we were in the second story. We used to call it C2, and we were in the center. And every floor, so 3 floors, every floor cell. And 3 people lived in the cell. When we left, there was more than 3 people in the cell because they brought the wall. They had no place in it. Here, big yard. We had, look, there is a taxi allowed to go in and take. You wonder whether there's an airplane over it. It would have been a welcome thing to see when we were there, to see an airplane over this place, because usually not a Japanese airplane to fly over. So it's one of the allies. Yeah, we did have once a group of them. This is my column.
You did have one?
So what were you saying about the prison? There are 2 walls?
Yeah, there are 2 walls, and in between it's called the girl. The car can go around.
Which one is the high one or the low one?
This is the outside is the higher, and the inside is the lower.
Were you with the
Some
same?
attempted to climb it, and they did.
Did they get out?
Yeah, they get out and they came back.
Why?
Because if you were caught outside, you will be killed. So they go out to get some money, some medicine, and come back. It's better to come back.
Did you ever go back out?
No, I didn't.
Were you with the same people for 3.5 years?
Huh?
Were you with the same people for 3.5 years? Did you ever get any letters from home?
Yeah, I still have it. Through the residence, we were allowed to write a card each on the receipt. But the letter we received, always we received it after 1.5 years, 2 years, yeah, very late. They don't want you to, because in case it contains news that you can act on it immediately. See, when you get an old letter, then you cannot act on it.
So security check to get through.
What's that?
To go
What?
on this road.
Huh?
How come people were allowed to go on this road?
Now, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Motorcycles.
They may work here.
But how does the security guard know?
They may have a pass. God up there, right? Yep.
I'm going in. I want to jump over the wall.
You want to jump over the wall?
This wasn't really a prison. It was like a camp. Because I've been in camp. That's what Grandpa said.
You know? Questions were very difficult questions.
What kind of question?
I don't know how I answered them without being my head cut off by them.
What kind of question?
Well, he asked me, one of the questions he asked whether the whom do you think he said? The Americans or the Japanese would win the war? Yeah.
You did say the Japanese, didn't you?
No, I cannot say. You see, you have to be very careful. You cannot say this one, you cannot say that one, because I was Iraqi in those days. I had Iraqi passport, and I have to be like neutral. You know. I said, well, every citizen in the world, I mean, wishes his country to win the war. I mean, I'm not an American. I'm not a Japanese. Doesn't interest me. I mean, he wins the war. And then he asked, who is more powerful, the Americans or the Japanese? I said, I never had the chance to see the power of America, the power of the Japanese, and I'm not a military man, and I cannot answer this question, and I don't know. And then he asked again one more question. I can't remember it at the moment. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. But the last one, he said, if we release you, would you work for the co-prosperity of Southeast Asia? When they came to Singapore, and Singapore fell down in Malaysia, and Indonesia, the Japanese proclaimed this policy of making the South Sea and these countries all prosper through co-prosperity spirit. I said, sir, I'm a businessman, and I'm not a politician. So he said, he wrote down every answer. He said, well, your answers will go to the high command, and you will hear from me. But we never heard from him since. The high command just go.
Well, Lisa wanted to know how you actually got to prison, how you got into it. How did...
They announced in the papers. They make
Dad, I want a drink right
They
now.
announced in the papers, all Jews with their passports and whatever documents they had. So I came and my brother with our passports. And our passports were Iraqi passports. So they didn't know where Iraq was. They had to bring an atlas to find where it is. You have to ring up and find out. And then they say, oh yes, Iraq cut off the way of Japan. So you are an enemy. An enemy subject, you have to be interned. But they didn't intern us. They put us in prison. Interned in a camp. And that's one thing the other one. But they didn't take us to the concentration camp. They said in lockup. Like other criminals. Look, like you were there, one lockup for both of us. And then the next day they brought a German Jew. And then the next day after, they brought 2 Armenians. So we were five people. And then my cousin was out, and she went to see the custodian of enemy property. The Japanese who took our brother's shop full of watch spare parts. In those days, they were worth about $1 million. It was the biggest watch deal in Singapore. And they used to sell whatever they sell every day, and it goes to the custodian, and he used to take the money in his office. So she told him, about my brother and myself. We were kept there, we were not prisoners, we were not criminals. We should be either released or we should be taken to camp. So he said, okay. He said, he will go and see us. And he came in the morning and he saw me. He said, what are you doing here? I said, we want to know what we are doing here. We are not criminals. He said, we're criminals. us because we were Iraqi and they said Iraq civil relations, we are enemies. So we took all the details, wrote it down, and said, I'm going to now to the High Command, and in the afternoon you will know your fate, what will happen to you. And true enough, in the afternoon, military police came, in a bus, special bus for us, the 5 of us. They gave us half an hour to go home, each of us, with the bus, and to take a small suitcase, our clothing. So we went home with a small suitcase, and we were taken to China prison and came here. We came here, we arrived in the night, in the evening, actually.
Why did you have to take a small suitcase?
To carry your clothing.
Why couldn't you take a bigger one?
They wouldn't allow us. They told us it's small.
Did you bring any money with you?
No, my brother had little money in his pocket. And we had all our money, we put it underground because we knew that one day we will be losing it. We had a shop there. And we used to live up the shop.
Where is it?
When we were interned, one day my brother was on the quay and he went to bring rice from the town, and then he was on truck and he saw some of our people and he told them to go and tell his father-in-law to go and dig and get the money and buy diamonds when they come out. And when the war was finishing, the father-in-law came and he said, the children, he took some and we were swindled.
You took off that.
No, it's okay. You have it.
She's the sharing.
Yeah, I will.
Open it, straw. Can you open it?
No straws.
You want?
No.
And share with your others.
Anyway, we lost the money.
Wait, how? Did you get
You see this father-in-law, he's crazy. He had shares and mortgage at the bank, and he went to the bank and released them. And after the war, the shares became gold shares, and they closed down, and they were worthless.
What do you want to drink, Dad? What do you want to drink?
So he said that he lied to you then?
Yeah, he lied to us, yeah. And he lost it.
Were you with your brother the whole time in the war and in prison?
Right?
Did you ever get separated?
No. I told you I went to the hospital twice there.
Why?
Once I had diarrhea, and once I was putting my hands on the glass, and I was reading the whole afternoon, and the glass was wet. And at night time, in the evening, I couldn't raise my hand. So,
Why not? Why not?
Became like paralyzed.
Oh my God. So what did they have to do?
So went immediately to the doctors. We had 3 doctors. We had actually 9 doctors on our floor, 3 doctors official. But they got certain hours. But for emergency, you just go anytime. So they were all for dinner. I didn't even have a dinner. So examining me said, you must go quick. And we had a hospital. So, because I was sleeping on gunny sack, on a sack. No mattress, pillow made of gunny sack, stuffed with coconut husk. So at least in the hospital I had a decent bed. So they massaged me, gave me hot water bottle. I stayed 3 days and I was okay.
Did they give you food? No.
Oh yeah.
Better food than you got it.
Well, it was slightly different. Yeah, it was slightly, not much. And, in 1943, it was the 9th of October. I remember it very well because the next day was double 10. We call it double 10, 10, 10. 10, 10. We had a raid by the Japanese army and lasted from early morning till evening. They told us the night before that we had to prepare ourselves the next morning early before breakfast. We didn't have breakfast, we didn't have lunch, and the whole day in the sun, They came and they harangued us, and they took every one of us, we all went to the yard, and they went every one of us where we lived, and they with an army man with a gun and bayonet, and to search all our things. And they found the one with the radio and behaved later on. Behaved because we were prisoners before, so we have shot him. But civilian, the Japanese cut their head off because we were civilians, so they cut his head off. And that day, the day before, it was Yom Kippur. So my brother and I fasted on that day. So the next day we had another fast. So 2 days we fasted. And when I went in, I was not very fat, but I was 140 kilos.
Pounds.
Pounds, sorry, 140 pounds. And when I was in camp, I was about 85 pounds. And not so bad, 85 pounds. From 145 to 85. And there were English people, they came to the camp with 200, 180, and the lowest, from 220 to 180. They were about 80. This means half of the size. You could see nothing but skin and bone. That's all you could see. One day we had double ration. Double ration, that means scone with vegetables in it. It was a bit bigger size. And we all had it, so it was a big treat. And you can see the people in their stomach, and it's higher than usual because it's flat, and here. So I was remarking, I said, look at him, he looks like in the family way. And who heard it? Priest from my friend, he from Church of England. He said, oh, no, you shouldn't say that.
When you had a packed little suitcase and brought all your stuff to the camp, did they allow you to use like little things like a toothbrush or?
Yeah, they didn't mind it, but you see, we were in a hurry. When we came, we didn't have anything, so we had a small shop. So we applied, because we told them we were in a hurry in Germany, so they gave us a toothbrush and but then later on, the Japanese supplied us once in 6 months, once in a year, sometimes we get supply of, not even toothbrush, but toothpaste mix. Yeah.
Do you remember when you got out?
Yeah.
Do you remember it very well?
Yeah, very well. And, we didn't want to celebrate because the Japanese were still there. You never know what would be their reaction. If you celebrate, probably they would just machine gun us and machine gun themselves. When the war ended, yes.
So
Not even
they were
exactly.
still in charge?
Huh?
They were still in charge? They hadn't surrendered each other?
Yeah, they were still there, but they were not in charge. But they were in their office, So we didn't disturb them, they didn't disturb us.
Who freed you? I know you.
Pardon?
Who freed you? Was it Australia?
No, ours. We had our own
The
kitchen.
Singaporeans freed
We
you?
have our own kitchen.
No, who freed you?
Oh, who freed us?
That you-
Oh, yeah, the British.
Was it the British?
Yeah, British forces.
Must have been a nice sight
But you were in Sime Road then, at that time?
Yeah, I was
Not in Changi prison.
In Changi prison, no, Sime Road prison. Because Changi, we were there from early 42 to May 44, 1944. And from May 44 to September, also September, I don't know the date, the exact date, but the day before it was Yom Kippur, I fasted. I always fasted on Yom Kippur because, you know, so little food we get. You will feel it one day. We thought that maybe heavens will look after us as we fasted.
Yeah.
They did look after us.
They show a lot of movies with the women and the children and all that marching, the Japanese kept them marching through Malaysia and all that. Where were they from? They marched to Singapore, or they were from Singapore and then they marched up. Where were they from? There were several movies on television that I've watched. I forget what one of them was called. But it was always women and children.
But the first batch that came to Changi, they were told to assemble at the padang. So they all went there. So among them were
I'll get you more.
have mine. The civilians were mostly elderly men and small children, so they had to walk from the padang to Changi, which is about easy 13 miles.
It just looked like it was the jungles of Malaysia where they were.
In Malaysia, because they were living in mines estates and rubber estates. It's out of town. So, you know, their homes were there. They had cars when they were free. But when the Japanese came, they couldn't use anymore their cars. The Japanese took their cars. So they let them walk. And this is how they were able to work.
I should show you guys it's on television. Guys in the tea. Mom knows what it is. Takara, something else, American identity. Any other questions?
You see this?
Where'd you go? Any other questions?
Yeah, the grandpa's gonna go to registration.
Wait, I want to see this. Hang on. It's closed. Hang on. Yeah. The bathrooms are.
You leave your arm
Get it?
to the left or to the right,
Yeah, ready?
and onto the ground. You mustn't see who is walking. Okay, but you only heard the footsteps of the
Tell me when you take it.
boots and the army.
Here, take me.
Okay, tape.
The prisoners are allowed to roam in the courtyard. The prisoners are allowed to roam in the courtyard. Yeah, they're allowed to roam inside.
Inside, under the guard. Yeah, you have 13 hours.
I don't know if they did that right now.
So Uncle, that's interesting. So the Jews of Singapore,
Yeah,
like
they
Uncle
come-
Freddie got
So what
to
happened?
live.
Yeah, for some time.
What happened with
And then after 1 year when we were inside over here, they brought 100 Jews. And those 100 Jews were taken, 1 Jew from every home. You know, like a father, they took one home a father, another home they took his son, another home they took a brother, another home they took, you know, either father, son, or brother, because they want, you know, sort of, they have to be careful.
Okay, Dad, race is in this inside. This is race with Jonathan before it was Jonathan.
You know, because their father or their near relations are in their hands, you know.
Ready, set,
You can hold them and shoot them and kill them.
yeah.
So you have to be careful.
Ready, set.
Go.
Can I see?
it's inside the
Can I see, Dada? I want to see.
Just because they're women doesn't mean that they're not dangerous. There are a lot of women killers out there, too.
So here, nighttime, it's dark.
Yeah, you can.
You see the garden? So
Patrolling to make sure that nothing suspicious is going on.
Nothing.
Oh, come here, Knight. That's in the prisoners.
He's probably patrolling to make sure we don't break into the prisoners.
Shut up, Louisa. Is there a way we can climb over that wall without
People did. Grandpa said many people went over, and then they had to go back over because they were
Twice.
killed. They had to get medicine and food.
twice we were allowed to go to the sea. The sea was not very far from here. And we went to swim. You know. So we only had shorts. We took out all our shorts and all the swim.
Did anybody escape?
Yeah, we did.
I'm ready.
Yeah, be ready.
They not they were caught, but they were caught, they wouldn't have been,
killed.
they wouldn't have been that, because they would have been behaving. But you cannot do anything there, you know, outside. So they go, they bring money, they bring food, they bring medicine.
That's what I mean. So then nobody actually escaped.
And then they have a nice food, you know, 2-3 days, sometimes they stay, you know, hiding.
And you never
To
kept in,
recuperate.
and you never kept in touch with anybody that you were imprisoned with?